Back here is all the parts. That came with it. I still got to clean it out. Looks like several families of rats have stayed in here over the last couple of years. But other than that, the car actually looks pretty good. The channels and rear tail panel look good. Got the caps for the tail lights. They're right there. See if I can get a shot of the side of the car. Pretty straight. There is a little bit of Bondo right there, and some peeling and bubbling right there. So this quarter will at least a lower patch panel will have to be put in. So other than that, it's not too big a deal. It's like somebody's hacked on the package tray at one point in time. It's not really a big deal. I'll be putting a couple of speakers back there and putting some stuff over it so you won't ever see it. A little bit of rust, surface rust right here. Nothing major, just a little bit. Everything's pretty much solid. Roof looks good. Channels look good. A little dent and some surface rust right here. Up here around the windshield looks to be pretty solid. Front fenders don't look to have any Bondo in them at all. The hood's got a few pings in it, but it's actually going to be replaced with a SS hood anyway, so that's not going to make a difference. Coming up front, the grille and the front bumper are missing. Hopefully there's a lot of the parts for this in the back of the Chevelle. I hadn't gone through that yet. I'll go through that here soon. Yesterday, me and my buddy Greg worked on getting spark. We got spark to the motor. The motor spins over fine. It doesn't seem to be binding or anything. The oil looks good. If you look, you can see a new coil that we put on it. That's temporary. So I can drive it while I'm restoring it. Frame looks good. No real scaling, just some surface rust. If you look real close, you can see a bunch of peanut shells. Those peanut shells, evidently there was a family of squirrels or rats, one of the two, were up underneath here and made their bed. Luckily they did put a cover over the carburetor, so it doesn't look like there's anything down in there. But I'm going to be pulling that off in about 5 minutes, and I'm going to be taking it apart and soaking it and putting it back, putting a rebuild kit in it. I already got a new battery for it. This is high tech. I like this. The return spring holder, or clamp, is a clothesline pin. So that's pretty high tech. I think that won't be staying. Going back out. There's the driver's side. The door's open, so it looks like it's pushed out a little bit, but it's not. It's also pretty solid. No real big dents or anything. Doors are solid. Open it up. Guts of the doors. The window stuff's not there, so I'm going to have to figure out how that goes back in. But the door lock mechanisms are there, so that's good. And that works. Coming down to the dash. We don't have power to the ignition switch yet, so we had to jump that with a jumper wire and use the jumper wire to get the motor to turn over. So this is going to be a job. I'm going to have to get me an assembly manual as well as a wiring diagram so I can figure out where all this mess goes. The original owner, or not original owner, but the guy I bought it from, unplugged all the harnesses. So it looks like the harnesses aren't chopped on too badly, so that's good. Floors I was really impressed with. Floors are nice and solid. No, I can't find any holes other than around the shifter. They look like they've been hacked on. The one thing about the shifter, it looks like, and maybe some guys on the forum can tell me, it looks like this might have been a manual transmission conversion. I can't think of any other reason why they would chop on the housing like this unless they were doing it to put the Hurst shifter in it. But I'm going to reuse the SS console that's in the trunk, so hopefully that'll fit and I won't have any problems. But I think this was an original bench seat car. It does have the SS buckets in it now, but the floors, as you can see, are solid. There's a lot of junk in the back, but the back floors are equally as solid. They just got a bunch of junk back here. I got to pull all this out and replace it and clean it all up. So, but overall, the car is actually pretty solid. That's just some sound deadening material. I thought that might have been a leak, but it's not. The car is actually pretty solid. I think I can probably have it running and at least drivable in a couple of months. At least that's what I hope to do. I'm not going to do it like I did my last project, which was a 71 Corvette. I actually took it all apart even though it was running, and it wound up sitting while I worked on it for 10 years, so that wasn't any fun. This time I'm going to run it and drive it while I put it together. It's not going to be a numbers matching OEM show car. It's going to be a resto mod, just like my 71 Corvette was. A lot of things I plan on doing with this thing. Can't really understand why the glove box and everything are yellow. Never seen that before. But other than that, it looks like everything's pretty much solid. I just got to figure out how to put everything back together and clean it up. So, with that said, I am going to turn this off and get my tools out and start taking the carburetor off so I can take the trailer back to a friend of mine and get the carburetor rebuilt. And that's it.